The clock continues to tick towards the Ryder Cup, which takes place in late September in Paris. And prior to the recent Honda Classic, Team USA captain Jim Furyk took some time out to talk to Anna Whiteley and discuss that forthcoming encounter with Team Europe.
Jim, it is so good to catch up with you. This is a big year for Jim Furyk, Ryder Cup captain for Team USA. This is something that I imagine that you've had your heart set on for a while now, but what has the experience been like so far?
Well, I think it's been fun. It's been interesting, a learning experience. Most folks ask the question, they say, well, has it been overwhelming? Is it as much work as everyone says? Mm-hmm. And everything, it sounds so negative when they put it that way, you know? Yeah. And I mean, it is a lot of work, and I think, you know, both Thomas and I are spending a lot of time on the preparation, but it's something we've always wanted to do, and the event's near and dear to our hearts, so it's been a lot of fun, really.
Mm-hmm. I know you said from the word go it was really down to business, and you slightly adapted the qualification process, making sure that you had the guys who were in form at the time. What made you want to do that, other than the obvious?
Well, I looked at, for us, our major championships have always been weighted double. That's what we had for the last Ryder Cup. And I agree that the major championships are important, but because the purses are already so high, when you start doubling the purses of the major championships, they're actually worth about 3 times the amount of a PGA Tour event. And I just felt like if you finish second or third in the US Open, you were gaining more points than winning a PGA Tour event. And you know, nothing against the major championships, but I want to identify the guys that are winning as well. I think winning a golf tournament, winning a PGA Tour event is very important, and I wanted to make sure that the value of doing that was reflected in our point system.
Well, of course you are captain, but your backroom team is incredibly important. You just announced that Tiger Woods, Steve Stricker will be joining you. What was it about their characters and their experience that you wanted in the room?
Well, I think, you know, obviously Davis was my first pick as vice captain. Immediately, right out of the chute, our past Ryder Cup captain. So much experience and a close friend. And then Steve was our President's Cup captain last year. He's got a great rapport with the players. He's pretty quiet, but when he speaks up, he always makes a good point. And you know, Tiger brings a lot to the table as well with X's and O's, groupings, pairings, and he, you know, arguably the best player ever. To have him in your team room, a lot of our young players, even a lot of the European players, you know, they play golf because they admired Tiger and the way he played.
Yeah.
And they became golf professionals because they wanted to be like him, if that makes sense. So it's a feather in my cap to have all 3 of those individuals on my team.
Yeah, and I know you've been asked a lot about this ever since he said it, but he said his ultimate goal was to be a vice captain, but also to play on that team.
Right.
How much of a feasible
option? That was last
option?
week.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the phone. It's funny, you know, he was having fun with the press at LA, and I read the transcript and I actually laughed hysterically. I thought he had a good poke at him. And of course everyone's goal is to make the team. They want to play. And what Tiger and I just talked about was what we wanted to do was, you know, I want to do what's best for Tiger as the captain. I would love to see him play. The whole golf world would love to see him play well.
Yeah.
And so if he got himself in position and had an opportunity to make that team, we would cross that bridge when we got there. We'd make the best decision for him. We'd make the best decision for all the guys in the team.
Yeah, I imagine at this point, as with Europe and America, the team is, you know, there's nothing solid about who's going to make that team yet. Things are changing very quickly. And when someone like Bubba Watson wins last week, does that must be an interesting one for Bubba and for you as captain.
It is. You know, he actually let the press know last week. I think he used the word pestering, but he's been playing with me for about the last year. He walks by me on the range, you know, hashtag earpiece, you know, hashtag vice captain. Hey, just call, I'm ready whenever you say.
He loves it.
He's having a good time. And my message to him really in the last few weeks, even before he won, was, hey, you know, you're 39 years old and you have so much talent and you're so much fun to watch play golf.
Yeah.
You're plenty good to make this team. Why aren't you talking about, I want to make the team? And I kind of gave him a little pep talk and said, you know, your goal should be wanting to play on this team and be a veteran leader as a player in that team.
You obviously hear the conversations surrounding Team Europe and Team USA, and there's very much a feeling that USA, this could be their year, just because there's so much camaraderie in the team that we haven't seen for a while. How much of a difference do you think that will make in making your team stronger?
Well, I think what I've read a lot about is, you know, there's quotes that the Americans seem confident, and I think Rory even put it that, you know, it's not going to be as easy as they think. I don't really think he's targeting our team when he says that.
Yeah.
I think some of the articles that have been written about us are, everyone's excited. We won the Ryder Cup at Hazeltine. We had a dominant performance at the President's Cup. We do have a young team that gets along, a lot of camaraderie, but make no mistake about it, the guys I've talked to that have an opportunity to make this team, they realize the task at hand and going to Europe. It's been 25 years since we won there.
Yeah.
We know the fans are spectacular there. They make a lot of noise, they're boisterous, and they cheer for their side, as they should. And then we're playing on a golf course that the Europeans know and love, and it's a spectacular golf course, but they've got a ton of experience around it. So it's going to be a difficult task. I think my guys know that, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to have some veteran leaders on the team. I'm excited that we have some youth and some fire. Get down, bite, bite.
Of course, this is your first captaincy, but we've seen you as vice captain. You've learnt from some incredible captains over the years. What are the best lessons that you've learnt from previous captains that you've been a part of a team with?
It's all been an experience. I think even with the events that I played in, for the captains I played for, I think you have to, I have to captain the team in my own personality.
Yeah.
I'm not really a cheerleader. I'm not a rah-rah guy. So if I get up in front of the team and give this big emotional speech, I think everyone's going to look at me a little funny and say, who are you? We haven't seen this guy in 20 years.
Yeah.
So you have to be yourself. We're trained as golf professionals. We usually 51 weeks a year, we worry about ourselves, right? We worry about our games and getting ourselves prepared to go play a golf course. When you're in a Ryder Cup type format, I think that's what you do for your first couple of Ryder Cups. You're so focused on, the best way I can help this team is to play the best golf I possibly can. And then you start looking around the room and you say, you know what? I need to play well, but maybe I can help some of these other guys. Maybe I can help the captain with some tips. Maybe I can, whatever. You start getting to the point where you get a lot more worried about everyone as a group. And that's a kind of a learning experience. And then becoming a captain, not many of us are trained to go out there and run an organization or a team, right?
And just finally, as you say, you've been involved in the Ryder Cup for over 20 years now. All your playing experiences, your partners, your wins, your losses. What is your most fond moment or memory from being a part of all this? If there is one.
It's always going to be winning.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the winning. I think maybe my biggest regret is I played as a player in 9 of these. I've been involved with 10. We won 3 of the 10, 2 as a player. My biggest regret is we didn't have a better record, but what I really take away from it is the camaraderie and the friendships. I have really good friends on the PGA Tour and really good friends that have played in those matches with me, but the ties and the bonds and the friendships are so much stronger because of those memories, and some of them because of heartbreak and some of them because of victory. But I cherish that about the team events, and I'll surely, when my time as captains and vice captains is over and I'm on the outside looking in, I'll miss those moments a lot.
It is an absolute pleasure to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. It's going to be a fantastic battle.